Paula Pell, Girls5eva is about second chances, and I feel like season three kind of doubled down on that because the show moved to Netflix. And Gloria is also getting a second chance at her love life. So did you look at the season and Gloria's arc that way?
I think that theme is really truly like the more we talk about it and the more we've watched the third season assembled, it's so much of the theme of this whole show is second chances. And then for us to have the second chance at Netflix, we just laugh so hard about our characters, how much our characters live with us. And the people that created the show know us a lot of us. So it's like I think sometimes we always tease that Meredith Scardino has an actual weekly meeting with our therapists because we're like, I think that she knows a lot more than we think she knows because it always feels so insightful about just that feeling of I'm 60 years old, it's in real life, and it's like I can really look at Gloria and feel that panic of like we got this chance that is so out of the blue. Like we cannot give it up. We can't lay it down. We can't, and then romantically, I think it's pretty courageous of her this season to say, like, I got my ex back, got my ex-wife back, but now I realize that I want to make sure it's right. So I want to go out and sow my wild oats. And then so I know when I come back home and say, you are the one that will make me happy. Like she's really thinking of herself for the first time, I think, because she's a caretaker, just like I am. Um, and so, yeah, I really, I love a theme of second chances of hope because every time in my career where I thought something was over or, well, I guess I'm slowly, my car is slowly, uh, riding into the ditch. I'll just have something happen that's so miraculous and wonderful. So I believe in that joy.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this season, your wife on the show and in real life, or ex-wife on the show, I guess, Janine Brito joined the writing staff.
Yeah.
So I guess like did you get the inside scoop on the arc this season and specifically for Gloria?
I tried to, if she was zooming, I could have like, accidentally been like cleaning behind her and hear some things. But she was in person in New York. So I didn't ever get to hear the writer's room um, too much. I mean, occasionally they'd be on Zoom if somebody had COVID or something, um, she'd tell me little things that made me excited. She'd say, "Oh my God, there's a move that you're doing in this that's so funny," and I love that. That's all I need. I didn't want to know everything because I wanted once the scripts we were doing the table reads. I love to get a script and a table read and really discover it and read the whole story of it. So I was glad that she wasn't constantly filling me in, but.
Mhm. Yeah, well, I know she came up with the list of the 178 types of women for Gloria to sleep with.
Yeah, 178 times types of women. And then they didn't even tell me those and show me that prop until I was doing the scene. And so I sat down and looked down and I see like cigar mommy and short Peg Bundy and I'm like, I can't look at these when I'm doing the scene. Like you know, I can't do it. It was
I love
funny.
any sight gag on a show, and Girls Five Up is really great with those because I love pausing and reading a show.
Oh my God, there's so many things that we don't catch. Like we'll come on and be shooting something. And then when we're leaving the set, we'll go, oh my God, like they'll be the funniest thing. And one of my favorite things ever is the whole set of I mean, it was at a real hotel, but they changed all the signage, but is the divorced dad sweetlets, like that hotel with the vending machine full of birthday presents for the kid with the divorced dad. And oh my God, there were so many funny props there, like that signs and different things. So I
Yeah,
I love
I
it.
was I was trying to pause to read the full sheet of the types of women, the 178, and like I because it's not in focus. Like I got like incorrectly sorted Hufflepuff
Yeah,
and
yeah.
quarter life crisis, like Tar. pilot, Uber driver, and or like a
I
Mary Lou.
mean, I don't even remember them because I was laughing so hard at the first few, and I'm just the scene. I just look down and I just check off a few like that. But I really do want to get a copy of it because I would love to frame that. That would be a very funny thing to like have in, in my memorabilia.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if there are actually 178 on there, because
Yeah.
sometimes they get just half-ass it because we don't
Yeah,
see.
they might have half-assed it. I mean, my wife doesn't usually half-ass things, but like I'm gonna have to get really tough with her here.
Yeah.
If it's 160, I'm gonna really ride her ass on
Like
it.
she needs to pop out the other 18 right there then. So I love this season because like you were saying, it feels like Gloria is learning to be selfish,
Yes.
thinking of herself. So how would you characterize like how that is difficult for her? Because obviously we know back then in the late 90s and early 2000s, she was also in the closet. And
Yes.
I love that flashback of like her and Lance Bass.
Oh my God. The
Yeah.
most boring sex tape ever, where they're like hiding from each other to be sexy. And it's like, just like, can we prolong this until we gotta go? Because we gotta hide. We both gotta hide.
Yeah, I mean, I
Just-
thought that was such a great way of like hitting at that, like comedically too, because I
yes.
think that is something.
I thought that was
Yeah,
such a smart way as opposed to like showing me and some, or have Lance Bass and me like be doing, or, just I just thought it was so elegant in a way. Like the word, it's a weird word for a sex tape, but it just had like you said, it hit what it was supposed to hit, and it was really funny, but it did it in such a minimal way. I thought that was so clever and funny.
yeah, like you really understand why she feels like she needs to make up her lost time.
Yeah, yeah. And I do think, because I call myself a recovering caretaker, because I've spent most of my life like my therapist said, when you're a codependent person, severely codependent like I was for many years, you your car is puttering, you're on fumes, and you pull up to a gas station and you put your card in and you get the pump and you go put in the other car, and then you watch the car drive away and you sit there with an empty tank, and that really is something I did for years, but I still learned to function doing it. And I think a lot of women grow up learning that, is that, we're the ones that, like, the helpers, the shoulder, and I also grew up closeted myself, and I grew up as a big woman, as a plus size woman. So I was so many things of that mama, come to me. I won't sit and cry to you guys about my stuff. I'll be the wise owl. Everyone come and get under my wings and I'll suckle you.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. And I think like we see kind of like that with all the ladies this season too, like they're kind of confronting something about
Yes.
themselves, and
Yeah,
their
I love
place in the
this.
group.
I love that this season, everyone, busy, Summer's like, who am I even? Like, who do I have any kind of real, true, genuine, authentic persona? Or is this just always making someone else happy? When she comes in with that guy with the leather and turquoise, because she met him like an hour ago, it's like that. I've done that kind of thing. I've done that kind of thing with people that I had a big crush on, where suddenly I'm listening to their music and liking things that are not things back in the day. I mean, you do a lot when you're just trying to get love. And I think in this season we're trying to figure out how to love ourselves, and then we can go and function in the world. But it is even Dawn trying to just have some baths and some quiet and watch TV and not like be a mom and be a wife and just kind of have privacy. And and I just love the whole storyline of Wiki, trying to just have more authenticity and like being so afraid to have normal love. And it's just really, it is amazing that we have, and I don't say we because I really think this is the brilliance of Meredith and the writers, is pulled off having the most insane. I mean, the show is so absurd, but it somehow, we always talk about it, we feel like real people, like we feel like real characters.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
think
it's
that's
absurd, but
really,
it's grounded and
I think it's
like
rare to be grounded with that big of crazy jokes and absurdity, to be
mhm.
grounded. I appreciate it because it's more fun to play a grounded character for me. I mean, you can get out there and be insane and just be a crazy, goofy character that just spews out jokes. But I love that you can get quiet. We have times where we're in tears, I mean, that last song in the finale that Sarah wrote, I was like,
I love that song, Medium Time.
bawling my eyes out.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I
Yeah.
also love that concept too of like
Yes.
you don't aim for the big time, just stay in the middle, like
Oh
Richard.
my God. It's the most healing concept. And if we could all just really play that song every day when we start our day and realize that like nobody's keeping track, you go for years where people are keeping track of how you're disappointing the world. And it's like nobody's keeping track. People are so obsessed with themselves.
Mhm.
Nobody gives a
Nobody's
shit.
paying attention. You do you.
Nobody is paying attention. Everyone is, when I was younger, meaning like 2 years ago, I would sit there and just be like, they're all in a meeting talking about me, pointing at a picture of me and being like, man,
They're not.
she,
They're
she
not.
really screwed the pooch on this one. Like it's just not true. It's not true. And I had a therapist one time say, you're not that important. And I got furious at him. And then years later, I was like, that is the most brilliant, freeing thing to know. And I knew what he meant finally, that you are not that important in people's lives. Something you said that you worry about, oh my God, did I make them feel that, I mean, it's good to have some sense of responsibility of how you treat people with kindness, but like, man, I can go into squirrely town thinking like when I said that thing about the butterfly, but then I knew that she was afraid of insects. Just like, shut the
Like,
fuck
no,
up.
she's not even thinking about it. No.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
how that also dovetailed with your plot line with Gray Holland too.
Yes.
And like he just wanted anonymity. Like he reached a big time and then you helped him out. You faked his death.
Oh, I love that storyline and I love our relationship in it. I mean,
Like I know who he was. He was not like he was just a
he
truck.
is a dreamy person. And when I say dreamy, I don't just mean he's gorgeous because he's absolutely gorgeous human being. My mother would call him a real specimen. But he is not just a gorgeous, obviously he's a model and an actor, great actor, but like he is so dear. He's just like a really good soul. He's a big-hearted, good soul. And we had so much fun with him. And I felt so honored that my character was the one that got to be like the bonded one with him, and everything. And I loved our scene in the hallway where like he just looks at me like, I don't want to be me, and I love that I know how to fix that. I'm no spoilers, but that I know how to fix that in one of the craziest things I've ever seen on television.
It was inspired. It also tapped
But I
into
can't get enough
Gloria's
of it.
love
Yeah.
of murder. So
Yes. Yes. Yes.
well, lastly, like what do you think or what are your hopes for season four?
Oh,
Because we kind of leave on a cliffhanger with the offer from Nance Trace
yes.
for a song on the female Garfield movie.
Yes.
And also like Gloria personally, she does her calculations and she realizes her soulmate is Caroline, but she has moved on with Dr. Bev. So
With
where does Gloria go from
Laria,
there?
who is ungodly funny. I think, I think I would love in season 4 if because we always love that they're underdogs, but I would love to have like a little blip of success where Gloria has a little cash and she does something really funny with it, or knowing Gloria, she'd probably end up giving it away to someone that she hears is having difficulties and then got ripped off or something. So, but I do like sometimes when they have these little bursts of like, oh my God, um, and so I would love to see them do something a little more like another big thing, just because the tour was kind of like small clubs and everything like, but then I would love them to get a chance because Kate Bush's with that song again, like for us to go do something in a giant venue or a festival or like something where everyone sees it, and then of course have something terrible us really screw it up, just really screw it up.
Hmm. And how
Because
about the
comedy is
Gloria?
always
Yeah.
best when comedy is best served when people are failing themselves for
Yeah,
sure.
just a little taste and then bring them back down to earth. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
So
Swat them back down.
yeah. And what about Gloria? Where does she go?
Gloria, I think I really want Gloria to like because I was a little afraid at the end of the season it would seem too sad for Gloria, but I feel like now she's either going to meet someone else or she's going to really come to Caroline with a different energy, which makes me laugh of like that she's gonna, it's not the boombox and say anything, but it's something ridiculous that she either, tries to like lure her back in some ridiculous way. And I love the idea of that because I do love and I've been divorced and I'm remarried to Janine and I still have a great friendship with my ex-wife and everything, but like divorce is sad and a lot of times in life when you have an ex of any kind, whether it's divorce or not, like there's something great about like I've grown and now I'm a different person and then you're a different person. What if this still worked or whatever? But sometimes it doesn't work at all now, So yeah, I think I just picture her trying to showboat a little bit and like really get in there and like really, really, because I've been so earnest with Caroline, and now I feel like I think I think I just might get a mohawk or something. I don't know, maybe not.
She could try to play a little hard to get and see what happens there. So
That's
there
it.
you
And
go.
I could see I could see Gloria also trying to make her jealous, which could be very funny too.
Yeah.
She makes her jealous with somebody who's like so much better for her, but she's just using her.
Someone better than Dr. Bev.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Well, fingers crossed for season 4. Probably
Oh,
season 3.
fingers, toes, arms, thighs.
Thank you so much for your time. Have a great
Thank
one.
you so much.